That's why this whole idea of the Anthropocene seems to me a bit dodgy, right? I mean, we know that we are in the middle of the sixth extinction. These are two different, this is more of the bad things kind of a graph, where we notice that, from the 1500s, we've got this sort of trend line that this is the background rate of extinction, but we're noticing that things are being rendered extinct at a far higher rate. But we really oughtn't to call it the Anthropocene, because it's not the Anthropocene that's generating this kind of behavior. Anthropocene relies on just the idea that it's humans being humans that's causing this, in the same way that, boys will be boys, or chicken will be chicken. But there's nothing about humans that results in this kind of an outcome. It's much more sensible to think of this as the Capitalocene, right? It's much more sensible to understand that the sixth extinction and the precipice at which we find ourselves is not because of something innate to human beings at all. Because we have plenty of data about human societies right now that are doing that are able to flourish because they are involved in commoning and conservation that is part of the way that they have always existed. This is not to romanticize indigenous communities, but to observe that some of them are really very good at not exterminating the planet. And that's a fairly modest claim, but it's one that's important to remember because it helps violate the idea that this is just an inevitable outcome of being human. It's not about being human at all. It's about being capitalist subject in a moment of capitalism.